Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is July the 10th, 2024. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today was solid. Even got treated by the work, so that was nice for some food. But we'll get to that in a sec. Food corner last night, how'd that go? Went great, went swell, swimmingly I'd even add. I had pasta bolognese, with the red sauce. It was good, it was yummy. Had a big salad, had a bolillo roll, and what did I have with it? A bagel. The usual. All went down gangbusters. I enjoyed it. But yeah, fast forward to today, because work decided that they were going to treat us to a little meal. Got a little catering. This one was not my favorite. This one's not going to go down in the highlight reel, at least just from my perspective. It was breakfast, so they just served like breakfast food. It really felt like a continental kind of situation. Let's see if I can remember the menu, or at least I'll say what I got. I got potatoes, which I will say up front was probably the best thing. They were kind of like, it's escaping me, but the chunks. So that, you had some chunky potatoes, and then we had, two kinds of eggs, which is so redundant to me. That's already where my biggest beef was. They had regular scrambled eggs, which, probably some powdered situation. But they threw some pepper on, so I'll give them that. And I'm just not the biggest egg man, so there's that too. And then there was egg casserole, which honestly was fine. It was pretty good. And as I was eating it, it had me thinking, I'm like, is egg casserole just a more American like quiche? Maybe I'm wrong there. Call me crazy. Let me know in the comments or something. So there was that. What else was there? They also had salsa. They had ketchup. They had cheese. So all the kind of things you want to throw on to that kind of sort of thing. So that was good. They also had beverages. You could have juice, which is what I should have got, or coffee. I chose coffee, and the half and half was really gross, and I put way too much of it in because I'm a fucking baby. And also I had coffee earlier, which, mind you, I'm figuring out, I'm cracking the code on our work coffee in the break room, that you can actually make a pretty good iced coffee. And I didn't know that until today. And I'm like, okay, pro tip, good that. Because literally that coffee was better than the coffee we got catered. So I was like, damn, this sucks. F. But hey, that happens. I'm missing two things. Some proteins. There was some meat in the egg casserole, I think, though. Maybe I'm wrong. There was bacon, though. And there was turkey sausage. The turkey sausage looked gross and was pretty not good. The bacon was fine. It just was very flimsy, and I hate a flimsy ass bacon. If you've seen any of my snaps, you will see that I fry my shit up. It looks bad, and it looks burnt, but I prefer that kind of bacon over flimsy, wimpy ass, chewy bacon. You know what I mean? That's just my style. That's my steez. So yeah, I think they had a piece of, and this was maybe the most depressing part, right? They had a piece of some kind of sweet, maybe a pound cake, maybe I don't know, some kind of cake kind of thing, or bread. I didn't get that because I'm a muffin guy, and I thought I was going to get a solid muffin, and it turns out they were cranberry muffins. Who the fuck brings cranberry muffins to any function? That's crazy. I thought they were blueberries. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get a chunky blueberry muffin. That'll be raw as hell. And then I thought maybe it's a raisin muffin? I've never seen that, but okay. No, it was a cranberry raisin muffin, bro. That shit was whack as hell. And it was pale. It was a pale muffin. It just was so bad. So y'all know me, right? Or I don't even feel like this is just a me thing, right? If you have a company function, and after the meal, you're gonna ask people how they liked it, right? You're gonna take a little personal survey. At least that's what I do every time. And it seemed like everyone liked this meal. Everyone dug it. And I was like, look, I'm a garbage disposal, but to me, this was pretty fucking mid. Oh, also a thing I am forgetting, there was a fruit spread. So you got a little bowl and you can fill it with some fruit. The fruit was fine. Maybe if I'm looking at it in retrospect, maybe the best thing. But I hate when I bite into a pineapple and I don't feel a way about it, and it just feels like, well. And of course, there was some cantaloupes, some melons, yada yada yada. A lot of grapes. Grapes are probably the best thing. I don't know. It was fine. I know it sounds like I'm grumbling a lot here, but like this is a treat. This is the shit that you're supposed to be giving us so that we don't fucking unionize, right? And like whenever it's fucking assaroni, I'm just a little upset. But like I said, at least there was some cheese and some hot sauce and some salsa. So like, we ate it up. We did it. So yeah, that was my day. That was work. I know we blogged a little bit harder here. To add on to it, I got a special gift. A new newsie unlocked. Welcome aboard, Kira. I don't know if you want me to say your name, your last full name, whatever. Well, I'll hash that out with you in a DM or in person or some shit. But welcome aboard. I love a new newsie, dude. That's just so cool. I really want you to know that I saw that shit while I was working and I almost cried. I giggled maniacally and like almost cried. So thank you for that. And I need you to know that you can give me that experience for a mere $5 a month. But like, yeah, like, just a small contribution and it puts you on the newsie list. I shout you out on the spot, usually on the day. I try to do that. And then, you get put in the month rotation, unless you want to be a silent whale. By all means, you can contribute without me shouting you out. But okay, no problem. Hey, boss, you pay mine. I don't mind. Anyway, so yeah, now we can get into it. I feel like I've worked myself into a sweat already. Ugh, and let me tell you, the sleep situation has been rough. I'm glad I got a nice, good night's sleep last night. But I did wake up in the middle of the night with my like bed sheet half off, sweating. I don't want to say I hate the summer because I really hate the winter more than I hate the summer. But man, the summer is no fun to get through either. I hate sweating like under my boob. I hate sweating through like all my orifices. It's just not fun. It's not cute. But we move. We ride. You know what? No, we're going full blog mode. Fuck it. Also, I had shared this like fucking Biden meme, right? And it was like, the grandpa little spine character thing in a wheelchair on SpongeBob. I shared that, and he's like, I will be running, da 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 da. Like I'm not gonna back down or whatever the fuck, some kind of meme like that. And I literally had someone in my comments being like, I'm so glad. You should actually look up Project 2025. And I get it. That is a scary fucking thing. We've talked about that shit ad nauseum, but But I hate when it's like motherfuckers are literally like, I love Biden so much that I would literally carry his like fucking ashes into the office. You sound crazy. You just sound insane. At least have a sense of shame. I don't know, man. That shit threw me off. I just hit him with the laugh reaction and kept it moving. I didn't want to be rude. Actually, I did. But yeah, I don't know. That was a fun little happening that happened to me today. And I don't know if it's just the sweat, me being delirious, but I just felt the need to talk about that, vent about that to y'all. Anyway, let's get into some fucking real-ass fucking news. I will add, though, that I picked up a heavier beer today. So who knows if that's going to affect it or not. I've had it before. Terra Bird. I believe, yeah, it's a Rheingeist, so there you go. Keeping it local, shopping local. But yeah, I love this thing. 8.5 alcohol volume. Whew, hell yeah. That's my kind of beer, brother. If y'all have not picked this up, I'm an IPA guy. Despite the fact that I drink Milwaukee's Best on a regular, it's because I'm poor. That's poverty's fault. But if I could have unlimited bucks, dollary-doos, I'd be having all kinds of IPAs all the time. Anyway, let me do the startup and we'll get into some news. I promise this time. No lies. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Let me take my little sippy. Okay. Hooey. Yeah, this could never be a visual podcast. No thanks. Triple killing suspect captured near cemetery. This is from the BBC. A suspect wanted over a crossbow attack, which left 3 women dead, has been captured. A major police manhunt for Kyle Clifford, 26, ended when he was found injured near a cemetery in North London. The victims, who were the wife and two daughters of BBC racing commentator John Hunt, were attacked at their home in Bushley, Hertfordshire. Let's see. A woman who knows the family described them as kind, friendly, and gentle people who always made time for others. It also looks like I kind of picked this up because I was, curious for a motive. I couldn't find it. This is, pretty new, pretty fresh. But it does look like, looking from The Guardian, they kind of have like a live ticker update. But I'll just read the title. Bushley crossbow killings. Suspect taken to hospital after being located, as it happened. That he knew the family. So that's at least what we know as of right now. But the police said the suspect, who left the army 2 years ago after a short stint, was receiving medical treatment for his injuries, but that no shots were fired by officers. Carol Hunt, 61, Hannah Hunt, 28, and Louise Hunt, 25, were found seriously injured at a house in Ashland Close, Bushley, just before 1900 BST on Tuesday, and all died at the scene. So yeah, that's obviously very unfortunate. It's very sad. I have seen a lot of people come out and show support, just for the commentator, for the family. Definitely this is going to be something that I want to, keep you guys posted on, if I hear any more about it. But yeah, it's crazy that people just want to find the will and the way to inflict harm on others, obviously there's no motive that can justify doing this kind of shit. But once again, it's one of those things where it's even if you take guns away, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. They'll pull out their zombie knives, or they'll get a crossbow, or they'll pull out a musket. I will add, though, because even I have these kind of lizard brain moments, but I remind myself that, imagine if you give this Kyle Clifford guy a semi-automatic pistol with a bump stock. This motherfucker would be a lot more dangerous. Any motherfucker would be a lot more dangerous in these kind of situations. So yeah, obviously, where there's a will, there's a way, unfortunately, whether that's good or bad in the, the human psyche and the mind. But, I'm obviously still going to advocate for, gun rights and regulation, more importantly. Not gun rights, really. I really don't. I mean, obviously, you have the right to bear arms, but you should be responsible and understand why you don't have, fucking fully automatic guns. And I don't know. I know I'm on a tangent here, and people died, and I shouldn't be making this shit to, try to make a point. But these are the things I think about when it comes to these things. And I know that I have friends who bring up these kind of points, and it always kind of bothers me because it's I also have those thoughts as just a default brain dummy. But then I also have to, use a little bit more complex thinking and remember that it's no, man, you can stop this shit and you can make it less. These are anecdotal things that happen. That being said, it doesn't, take away from the moment. Obviously, my condolences to the family. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit the next beat because it's a lot. It's a couple of stories up front are really dark. From USA Today, Church's Chicken employee killed after argument with drive-thru customer. No arrests made. A fight between a fast food employee and a customer turned deadly in West Tennessee on Monday night when police say the guest shot a female worker after a reported argument. The fatal shooting took place just before 9:10 p.m. at a Church's Chicken in Memphis, officials said. According to police, at 9:10 p.m., officers responded to a shooting at the Park Avenue business about 6 miles southeast from downtown Memphis. Arriving officers found a female victim suffering from at least one gunshot wound and transported her to a hospital where she was later pronounced dead. Officials posted in a news release. Excuse me. A preliminary investigation by police found the victim was working in the business when a woman in an SUV pulled into the drive-thru and argued with the employee. It was not immediately known what the pair argued about. The teal-colored SUV drove off the lot, and the victim walked outside the business to get some air. A few moments later, a gunshot was heard, and the teal-colored SUV was seen on video speeding off the parking lot. Shortly after, the shooting victim was located in the parking lot. As of Tuesday, police had not released the victim's name or age. Let's see. Police described the person captured on the camera who argued with the employee as a female with purple hair driving a teal-colored compact SUV. But yeah, they haven't made an arrest as of yet. Let's see. Anyone with information about the homicide is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Obviously, it's a super unfortunate thing, and I think about this. The victim. Like, I'm sure you've been there as a person who's been a worker. The person who's listening to this, I'm assuming, is not some bougie ass elitist who's never worked a day in their life. You know what I mean? You've had a hard customer to deal with, right? And like, essentially, what the victim was doing here was like, hey, like, I just need to get some fucking air. I'm mad. I'm pissed as hell. And like, let me just take 5 real quick. And literally on the other end, you have the person who's like, oh man, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I was disrespected like this, blah, 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 blah. And they turn around and literally turn it into a drive-by. You know, they come up and they shoot the person they were arguing with. Like, that's crazy. And not to mention, yeah, to you, this is just the church's chicken employee, but this is someone who has a child, loved ones, people who care about them. And now they're left without this person because you're mad about this bad food experience you had. It's just so petty when you look at it. It's never fucking worth it, no matter what got said, no matter what was, the reasons here. So yeah, that's obviously, just a very unfortunate fucking thing. So, we got a crossbow killing in one spot, across the pond, and then here, we got a whole ass fucking, shooting with a, firearm. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Sorry. Got a thing stuck in my mouth. Okay. From the Tennessean. White supremacist group marched in Nashville without permit. Breached U-Haul customer contract. Let's see here. On Saturday, a group of white nationalists known as the Patriot Front marched through Nashville and made their way up the steps of the Tennessee Capitol. The group wore ski masks, matching clothing, and carried Confederate and upside-down American flags as well as shields. Also, just something I just wanted to note, I love that this upside-down American flag thing has been brought up as a trendy thing to do now, to be like, yeah, I'm an alt-right dude and I'm fucking against it. I love Trump. That used to just be a thing of hey, I'm an individual, or this is a house under duress or whatever. And now people have made it some what they feel is some punk rebel thing to do, but it's really corny. Anyway, let's see. According to the statement from the Tennessee Democratic Party, the group chanted "Deportation saves the nation" and "Sieg Heil." I imagine that they probably did their little, "Ooh, yeah, I'm a Nazi" salute. That's cool. That's fun. Which is so crazy to be in one phrase, we're anti-immigrants, get them out of here. But then also, let's mix it up with some German phrasing. Let's get we don't want to just be some casual ass fascists. Let's dig into our roots. What are we doing? The fucking mud brain I just don't get it, man. It's rock-headed. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But hey, we gotta fucking hop in the U-Haul and we gotta do this, brother. Yeet yeet. The Patriot Front is a white nationalist hate group that formed following the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, back in August of 2017. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the group was formed by members of Vanguard America, a neo-Nazi group that participated in the deadly rally. Saturday's demonstration was not the first time a white supremacist group marched through the streets of Nashville. In February, 24 people wearing Nazi gear marched through downtown. Let's see. On Monday, Governor Bill Lee addressed the march. My understanding is that the group had some anti-Semitic ties and should be condemned on every level, or at every level, he said during the event. Jewish people in this community and around the world have suffered for generations. Anti-Semitism should not be tolerated. And I agree. Let's see here. But that being said, they didn't have a permit to do it, so I hope that there's at least going to be some like fines in their future. Also jumping to like I guess some potential consequences, though really when you look at it, is it that much beyond a little bit of a slap on the wrist kind of fine? On Saturday, the group was seen exiting U-Haul vehicles, which violate the U-Haul rental contract. The terms and conditions for equipment rental section of U-Haul rental contract state customers shall require passengers to ride only in the cab of the truck, pickup truck, and van or vehicle towing any trailer, according to U-Haul manager of media and public relations, Jeff Lockridge. When a customer violates the rental agreement through the misuse of equipment by committing an illegal act, the company monitors and investigates the situation as well as offers support to law enforcement as requested. And you know what? That's not a big move because more or less they're just saying, hey, like legally what they're doing is fucked up. We don't abide by that. But hey, given the past couple weeks, that's better than like, let's say a tractor supply company would say, hell yeah. So, we'll take it. Like I said, obviously, boo the Patriot Front. That's some yee-ass shit that doesn't make any fucking sense. They're just finding weird ways to be racist. Let's see here. We have one more thing I wanted to cover, but, I'm saying like a pre-corrections thing. I wanted to get the name of the victims from the Memphis the shooting. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Give me a second. Bear with me. Nope, that's the wrong article. Let's see if we can find it in more news. Oh man. Don't mind me. Here we go. I think I found the article I was looking for. Yeah, and Arnita West. There we go. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I just would have felt really bad by just calling her a victim. Obviously, I've said this before. I'll say it again. Part of why I do this shit is like, especially when we get into stuff, it's not just a true crime moment. These are people, There's a wake when they're gone. There's a hole missing, and it's important to at least try to commemorate. That's the word I think I'm really trying to use here. I'm just a fucking rockhead myself, but I'm trying to do my fucking best. I'm trying to be a decent guy about this shit, I know it's amateur hour, but hey. All right, we have one more thing I wanted to cover, then we'll go ahead and call it a day. Let's see, our last story comes from The Guardian, but yeah, let me go ahead and take my last break and we'll get into it. Ooh. Yeah, obviously I hate that time, Besides when I'm doing, the fun stuff that I'm doing here, I don't like leaving you with the doom, 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 doom. That's why it'd be nice to have a co-host, But hey, what can you do? Okay. All right. Let's see. Last story is Sydney, Australia related. We're going to talk about some artwork. Artwork featuring Christ overlaid with Looney Tunes characters removed by Sydney Council after threats of violence. A Sydney Council has removed a playful artwork of Jesus Christ overlaid with Looney Tunes characters after a torrent of online abuse. Sydney artist Phil James' work, Jesus Speaks to the Daughters of Jerusalem, was removed from the Blake Art Prize exhibition at the Kazula Powerhouse Art Center after fierce criticism was directed at the artist and the gallery on Friday, just 2 days before the 8-week exhibition ended. The biennial prize at the Liverpool City Council Gallery recognizes contemporary artwork that explore spirituality and religion and draws artists from all benefits and cultural backgrounds, or all beliefs and cultural backgrounds. I'm sorry. Also, I did not know once again, showing how dumb I am, I know, but like I did not know there was a Liverpool in Australia. I thought that that was in the UK, where the Beatles came from, right? Oi, governor. I did not know that there was a Liverpool in Australia. So, hey, today we learned, right? All right, together, right? We all learned that together. Anyway. But a last minute online protest claimed the 2023 oil on lithograph work mocked the Christian religion, with some protesters threatening the museum and its staff, many of whom are volunteers, with violence. Which I totally get, where you're like, man, I'm just working here for literally free and someone's gonna come here and fuck with me? Like, over this goofy ass fucking painting, literally? Also, another aside that I want to make about this, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I'm looking at this and I implore you to look it up. I only have like a section of it. But like, one, at some point someone says that Christ is Goofy, which obviously that's not a Looney Tunes character, that's a Disney character, and that's just not correct. But like, looking at the duck, that's not Daffy Duck, you know what I mean? Like, it has blue eyes and shit. It just looks different. And then the ghost looks vaguely familiar, but I don't recall this ghost. Maybe I'm wrong. And then also the lady, they have Speedy, but he doesn't quite look like Speedy. And then they have Sylvester at the bottom. That's not pictured in the thumbnail. But if you look at him, he might not be quite Sylvester. And I wonder if that's like, if the artist did that for legal purposes. So it's like, hey, you can instantly tell visually what I'm doing here, but technically it's not. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just, once again, a dumbass. But I don't know. It felt like this wasn't exactly Looney Tunes. It wasn't exactly Goofy. It was just like, hey, I'm doing those like things. It's like the IP. But anyway, I guess it really got people in a kerfuffle. It really upset them. Let's read a quote from Phil James. I do like stirring a bit of reaction with my work, but the novelty very quickly wore off on Friday. The level of vitriol and the sheer volume of it was actually frightening, the 48-year-old said. I've been doing these sorts of works for around 15 years, and I've had one or two people upset, but nothing like this. It was vile and not at all Christian, which I agree. One processor warned him that the gallery better get some extra security, he said. Which you can only take that as like a fucking death threat, or, a threat on your life, right? Let's see here. The poor staff who work there don't need this. It's not worth it. Which I agree. Liverpool Mayor Ned Manoun, called the removal of the painting in the face of what he called many complaints from numerous residents who were disgusted and offended that Liverpool Council was displaying this artwork. The Christian Messiah and the Muslim Messiah Jesus has no connection to the cartoon Goofy. The cartoon character Goofy, he said in a statement. But yeah, I mean, essentially just there was people adding that they felt this was really disrespectful, And to some extent, like, when I kind of started hearing them out, it kind of tugged at my old Christian heartstrings, and in some ways I can kind of get that. I can also get that sometimes you can say, oh, I'm just talking about religion, but then sometimes, like, these are, like, racially veiled things that you're doing, and it's actually really fucked up, and it's like, okay, that's problematic. And you can also just see, like, how, oh, even if it's not racial, my religion is important to me, and, like, what you are doing is, like, potentially infringing upon that. But I mean, I kind of feel like the way I look at it now, it's like, well, you just don't have to go to the museum. You just can, like, scroll through if you see that on the internet. I don't know. So I'm almost of two ways about it, but I do feel like it should have just been allowed to stay up. But I understand why they took it down, because once again, you have people who are just doing this shit for the love of the game. No one should, like, have their life threatened, you know what I mean? But also, shame on the people who send that kind of shit, man. Like, I'm all for, like, saying, hey, I disagree with this, I don't like this, and explaining why you don't like a thing. That's fine. You can go through in the marketplace of ideas and have that conversation in the crucible, whatever. But when people take it to that place, it's just so useless. It doesn't provide anything. It doesn't alleviate the problem. Like, maybe you get this art taken away, but, like, that's just censorship type shit, you know what I mean? You're not eliminating the art, you're not eliminating the thought. It's weird. It doesn't do anything good. So yeah, it's unfortunate to see people kind of take that angle of like, I'm gonna send a death threat, I'm gonna be rude and mean, like, and I'm gonna. And once again, being rude and mean is one thing, but like once again, when you're taking it to a physical level, that's when it's too far. That's when it's like, whoa, what the fuck, man. Like, I'm all for people hopping in my comments and telling me I'm shit, I'm bad. Correct the mundo. You're preaching to the converted, all right? But like, saying something like trying to take somebody's life, that's a notch too far. Why do that shit? You know what I mean? You don't need to do that shit. Put the hammer down, brother. Anyway, that's it. I think that's where I want to leave it for today. I know, bit of a whirlwind. How did I go so long? Oh, you know what? It's talking about food. I always get myself when I do that. I always run way too long if you let me talk about food too much. I'm sorry. Mea culpa. All right. That's it. That's the episode. Let's see. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. If you would like to become a newsie today. Freeways hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. I see you, Twitter. Hopefully you're not bots, but if you are, whatever, Also, appreciate the follows on YouTube, because we got a new follower on there too. So, hey, yay, subscribers. Smashing that subscription button. Also, you can hit the like button. Also, you can hit a comment. And also, you can share. But, it's whatever. I really just appreciate you listening to me. It's crazy if I like reference the podcast and I have a friend or have friends who go, yeah, no, I heard you say that. And I blush. I turn into a cartoon character. I turn to Betty Boop, actually. Ooh, that's the kind of person I turn to at the function if you say, hey, I listened to that. I know, dog. It's crazy. That really warms my heart. It really means the world. Damn, I slapped and that hit the noise. Okay, I gotta go. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.